have all our money.
It's not about the money.
Jessica and the Winthorpe girl have been kidnapped.
Well, is she okay?
This is a final warning.
She's alive.
We will execute them within 76 hours if our preliminary demands are not met.
All members of the Abu Karef must be released with full pardons.
I'm here to find my daughter. It's all about the girls.
You made a big mistake by coming here. I want him.
The story kicks off in Thailand, where CIA agent Jake Hopper and his partner Sunday arrive for what's supposed to be a quiet undercover meeting with two major crime bosses. But yeah, things fall apart almost immediately. What should have been a controlled negotiation suddenly turns into a setup. Guns are drawn, the room erupts into chaos, and before anyone can react, Sunday accidentally shoots and kills an innocent woman. And honestly, this moment changes everything. Seconds later, bullets start flying everywhere. Sunday is badly wounded, and the entire operation collapses right in front of them. As one of the attackers moved in to finish the job, Jake reacted instantly, shot the gunman, and dragged his partner out alive. But trust me, this was only the beginning. The failed mission left deep scars on both men. Haunted by the innocent woman's death, Sunday walked away from the CIA entirely and became a Buddhist monk, hoping to find peace and redemption. Meanwhile, Jake returned to the United States, and after losing his wife, he also left the agency for good. He rebuilt his life from scratch, created a successful private security company, and poured all his energy into raising his daughter Jessica, determined to give her the safe life he never had. Before leaving for a trip, Jessica called her father and reminded him to take care of himself. A small moment that honestly feels way more important later than it seems at first.
I love you.
Then, she headed to Thailand with a group of friends for what should have been a normal adventure. But during a hike through a remote area, everything suddenly goes off the rails, as Jessica and her friends are ambushed and kidnapped by a heavily armed group known as Abu Kar.
Out of the water.
You can have all our money.
It's not about the money.
The armed group soon released their demands, ordering the U.S.gov government to free 20 prisoners and threatening to execute every hostage if anyone refused to cooperate. And honestly, the situation escalated unbelievably fast. The pressure exploded when authorities discovered that one of Jessica's friends was actually the daughter of a U.S. senator, turning a kidnapping into an international crisis. Meanwhile, former CIA colleague Tom Collins spotted Jessica in one of the ransom videos and quietly contacted Jake. And this is the moment things become personal all over again. Back in Washington, under heavy Sedical D Jessica because pressure from Senator Winthorpe, the CIA released a public statement and limited its involvement to supporting Thai police and military operations. Agent Leon Washington was assigned to lead the rescue mission, and Jake was directly ordered to stay out of it. But come on, no father is sitting at home after seeing that. Convinced that every delay could cost Jessica her life, Jake ignored the order completely and flew to Thailand on his own, keeping his identity hidden after landing. And trust me, this decision changes everything. But even getting into the country wasn't simple. On the drive from the airport, his taxi driver suddenly changed routes and led him straight into a planned ambush set up by local criminals. What they didn't realize was they had picked the wrong guy. Despite being badly outnumbered, Jake fought his way through, beat them, and escaped without backing down. After surviving the attack, he immediately realized this kidnapping wasn't some isolated hostage situation anymore. It was connected to something much larger and far more dangerous than anyone expected. That night, Jake headed to a nightclub, and honestly, he wasn't planning to start trouble. But when he saw a group of thugs harassing a woman, he stepped in without hesitation.
Calling me a junior? Huh?
You look like Junior.
Oh, you think you tough, huh? She's already paid for, man.
I work for club, not you.
What the fuck you mean you working for the club, bitch?
Listen, why don't you go back to your own genetic puddle and go for a swim, boy?
Think you tough, you walking in here, huh? Take that.
And yeah, you can already tell this guy never really stopped being CIA. What started as a simple confrontation turned into a full fight until it was suddenly shut down by Fitch, an old acquaintance with enough influence to keep the club under control. After things settled down, Jake took the chance to ask Fitch to use his connections and help locate his kidnapped daughter. Fitch claimed he had nothing yet, but promised to pass along any information if something came up. And honestly, the way he said it already felt suspicious. The next day, Jake visited a temple and reunited with Sunday, the former CIA partner who had left everything behind to become a Buddhist monk. Jake explained Jessica's kidnapping and revealed his suspicion that Abu Kar might be responsible. At first, Sunday stayed quiet, but after remembering how Jake had once saved his life, he agreed to help. And this is where the mission finally starts coming together. As they dug deeper, Jake discovered that a French arms dealer named Ferran Fodder was believed to be supplying weapons to Abu Kar. But when Jake confronted him, Fodder denied everything and acted completely clean. That's when Jake realized something wasn't adding up. And trust me, his instincts were right. He began to suspect Fitch had been hiding information all along. With help from the woman he had rescued at the nightclub, Jake uncovered a major lead, an upcoming weapons deal involving Abu Kar and a dangerous crime boss named Janapan. And at this point, it became clear the kidnapping operation was tied to a much bigger criminal network than anyone expected. Jake and Sunday secretly watched the meeting unfold and quickly realized something was wrong. Janapan's men never intended to honor the deal. Their real plan was to kill Abu Kar's representatives afterward and erase all loose ends. And honestly, the second Jake understood that, he knew letting it happen would destroy his only chance of finding Jessica. This is where everything goes off the rails. So instead of staying hidden, Jake jumped in and disrupted the exchange, triggering a massive gunfight as bullets started flying everywhere. The chaos didn't last long before police arrived and arrested Jake, but things got even more frustrating at the station. A corrupt officer accused him of interfering with an official investigation and treated him like the problem instead of the criminals. Shortly after, Agent Leon Washington showed up and once again tried to convince Jake to walk away, return to the United States, and leave the operation to professionals. But Jake had already crossed that line. Looking Leon straight in the eye, he made it clear he wasn't leaving Thailand without his daughter. And honestly, at this point, nothing was stopping him. Following another lead, Jake and Sunday tracked down a warehouse connected to Fod, hoping they were finally getting close. But when they got inside, they found Fod already dead. And that's when they realized they were too late. Seconds later, the entire place was stormed by masked gunmen working for Janapan. What followed was total chaos. Being heavily outnumbered and trapped inside, Jake and Sunday fought their way through the attack, survived the ambush, and proved once again these guys were far more dangerous than anyone expected. A woman with ties to Abu Kar finally reached out and led Jake and Sunday to Monal, the group's leader. And honestly, this is the moment the entire puzzle finally starts making sense. Monal revealed that Janapan had been behind everything from the beginning. He explained that the recent attacks weren't random at all. They were carefully planned to eliminate rival groups and allow Janapan to take over both the arms trade and the drug network. And trust me, this guy was playing a much bigger game than anyone expected. Monal then dropped the truth. Janapan had kidnapped the girls and framed Abu Kar on purpose, using the chaos to trigger military pressure and crush his competition all at once. But the biggest reveal came next. Monal told Jake exactly where Jessica was being held and exposed Fitch as Janapan's inside ally. And honestly, that betrayal hit hard. When Jake and Sunday confronted Fitch, he tried to escape, but they cut him off before he could disappear. Jake demanded to know where his daughter was, but instead of talking, Fitch fought back and pulled a dynamite weapon to defend himself. Before he could say another word, one of Janapan's top lieutenants stepped in and challenged Jake directly. Big mistake. Jake crushed him in close combat and then shot Fitch, ending his part in the betrayal.
I guess he sealed his own fate.
That same night, Jake and Sunday launched one final assault on Janapan's estate. And this is where everything reaches its breaking point. Sunday stayed behind to keep the remaining guards occupied, while Jake pushed deeper into the compound to hunt Janapan himself. After a brutal final fight, Jake disarmed Janapan and killed him once and for all. Then he rushed downstairs and finally reunited with his daughter, and honestly, after everything they'd been through, this moment felt earned. But the victory came at a cost. Moments later, Sunday collapsed from his injuries and died. And yeah, this one hurts. Shortly afterward, military forces led by Leon Washington arrived at the estate. When Leon saw Jake standing there with the rescued girls and Sunday's body, he quietly ordered his men to stand down. The story ends with a peaceful Buddhist funeral for Sunday, as Jake leads the ceremony and releases his old friend's ashes into the river. And honestly, for a story filled with violence, this ending feels unexpectedly quiet, emotional. In the end, this story shows that no matter how dangerous the world becomes, a parent's determination can push them farther than anyone expects. But at the same time, every victory comes with a price, and some people never make it home. And honestly, Sunday's sacrifice reminds us that redemption isn't about escaping the past. It's about what you choose to do in the end. If you enjoyed this recap, don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications, because the next story might be even crazier.